westbound 52. That connector there partially blocked. Now we do have
here we go.
to the Bay Terraces portion of the 54 westbound.
Radio works.
Briarwood there.
Horn works. Transmission has a very tall first gear, and then second and third are real close ratio. Fourth, it's more like a normal ratio. It's an overdrive, I'd say. I'll check the rear end gear when it's up in the air here soon. I would say it's about a 350 or so. It's just fine going down the freeway, doing 70-ish. It's not working too hard. And plus it'll pull a hill in fourth gear, as you'll see when I'm coming up to a fairly good sized hill. Torque of the motor at 2,000 RPMs is plenty good. Best shifting car I've ever owned. No resistance. Throw it into first gear 20 miles an hour if you dare. Power steering works good, but the pump gives off a little noise once in a while. Just moaning and groaning. It'll probably go like 45 or 50 in first gear if you wanted to really push it that far, but it's got the torque to pull it. I live on a hill and I take off on the hill, no problem. I'd say engine power on this thing is probably closer to 350. The Bud Dyno says it's definitely more than 3 1/4. It's got a 650 double pumper Holly on it too, which is like a perfect size for that motor and that horsepower range. Actually, gas mileage is not that bad. I would say more like 10-ish around town. All I do is stop and go with this thing on my commute. It's pretty darn reasonable. I've had other cars I got, between 6 and 8 with built motors. California stop there. It's mandatory. Fairly a bad solder joint or connection somewhere that shrinks up when it's cold. Imagine that. Idle at a stoplight is fairly smooth, and it's actually not that stinky. I can barely smell the thing once in a while sitting at a stoplight, so you know, nobody's flipping me off and yelling at me in California for having a stinky car. Not yet, anyways. Exhaust is pretty mellow. It's Flowmaster 40s, and it's got an H pipe in it, which helps minimize the drone. There's no drone on the freeway, but of course at low speed, Flowmasters tend to drone. Little or no squeaks or rattles. It'll give an occasional moan or groan from the sway bar bushings as you're going over bumps, but it's just the rubber making a little bit of noise. Overall, the best muscle car I've had. It does everything well. Covers a very broad spectrum of being good at a lot of things. Makes all the right noises too.